Hey, what's going on, guys? So Crimson Desert just dropped patch notes version 1.03.0, and this one is packed with quality of life changes, combat tweaks, visual upgrades, and a bunch of fixes that make the whole game feel a lot more polished. The big headline is that the update adds the weapon display option, new skills for different characters, and a set of control and UI improvements that make movement and exploration feel way smoother, including the ability to teleport through the Abyss Nexus while mounted, falling, swimming, or even climbing walls. The update is rolling out across platforms too, with Steam PC, PlayStation, and Epic Game Store available now, while Steam Mac, Xbox, and the Mac App Store are marked as in progress for later release. And honestly, one of the biggest wins here is how much better the world traversal and general flow seem to be after this patch. The Greymane Camp got a usability pass, Payloon Camp got improved access to key NPCs and more convenience overall, and the game also fixed a bunch of request-related issues that could get in the way when the player was in a wanted state. There are also changes that make dialogue scenes better, since standard scenes without letterboxing now allow fast-forwarding, and there's even a new fast-forward speed option under Other. Language and gameplay so players can tune the speed up to 4x. On top of that, Abyss Nexuses are easier to spot, certain Abyss puzzles are more convenient, and the game gives better hints for gimmicks that can be attached with Force Palm, plus lanterns and blinding flash now help guide you more clearly. The combat side of the patch is where things get really interesting. Kliff gets a new ability called Focused Aerial Roll, and it is unlocked through Focus L3, Flight Love, 2, and Aerial Roll, then triggered by using Focus during flight and pressing the dodge key. That alone sounds like it could open up some cool movement and combat setups. Damiane and Oongka also got more abilities that are actually useful in open-world play, including Axiom Force and Nature's Snare and related abilities, while Damiane's Shield Toss and Oongka's Scatter Shot now work more like Kliff's Force Palm. The controls for Damiane's Skystep and Oongka's Vertical Flight were adjusted too, and a few combat problems got cleaned up, like combo chains slowing down after blocked attacks, weird speed spikes during chained abilities, blinding flash dropping off while mounted, and the scythe not being drawable in safe zones. Even the interactions with walls, buttons, and cranks were improved, so the game now plays a dedicated animation when those devices can no longer be pushed, which is the kind of detail that makes a game feel more responsive. The UI work in this patch is just as practical. Faction quest icons now use a different color. The memory fragments of the Vigiane list only shows what you have actually obtained, and grouping or ungrouping items in the bag can now process everything at once. Item details can now be checked from storage too, which sounds like a simple change, but is exactly the kind of thing that saves time over and over. The mercenary list now marks your selected mercenary with a check icon, while the inventory and quick slot stat screen no longer shows doubled attack and critical rate for certain gear like necklaces and cloaks. The world map and minimap got a lot of readability upgrades as well, since already obtained treasure chests, visited and unvisited caves, and restored versus unrestored Abyss locations now use different icons, and markers placed on the world map should now stick after the first reconnection. Visually, this patch goes beyond just UI polish. On PC, Intel Arc GPU support has been added, along with Intel XeS 3.0, Intel XeSS frame generation, AMD Radeon Anti-Lag 2, and new graphics options like displacement scale and detailed decorative mesh. There's also a note that Intel Arc A-series GPUs may not display properly when using CSS 3.0 or XeSS frame generation, so that is something worth keeping in mind. On console, PlayStation 5 base and Xbox Series X get enhanced ray tracing, while PlayStation 5 Pro gets a PSSR sharpness option. Across all platforms, indoor lighting quality, water surface reflections, and rain brightness from certain angles have been improved. The new weapon display option is also a nice touch, letting players choose how melee and ranged weapons are shown, and the accessibility additions are solid too, with minimum font size, plus camera-related options like visual range, vertical offset, horizontal offset, auto-follow, and look-ahead. And for the people who care about overall smoothness, there is good news there too. The patch notes mention fixes for stability, performance optimization, and crash issues across PC, console, and Mac, along with broader localization improvements and some other issue fixes, including a crash tied to using the Helm of Knowledge as Damiane or Oongka, and a vendor issue where Corrin had no maximum purchase limit. So this update is not just about adding shiny new options, it is also doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make the experience feel cleaner, steadier, and more reliable. If you've been waiting for a patch that improves movement, combat usability, map clarity, graphics options, and general polish all at once, this one absolutely looks like a meaningful step forward.